I'm Wallace Shawn. These are true statements. I don't like to lie, but I am Wallace Shawn, and I guess if you're watching this, you are watching Comedy Matters.
Hi, I'm Kristen Johnston with Jeffrey Gurian, and you're watching Comedy Matters, and it does.
This is Jeffrey Gurian for Comedy Matters, and I'm here at Capitale. I'm here for the new group's tribute to Wallace Shawn and Fred Wistow, who is a guy who is a supporter of the new group. New group is a theater troupe with lots of well-known members, and they're here tonight honoring Wallace Shawn, whose new play, which is actually a remake of his old play, Marie and Bruce, is now on Broadway, starring Marisa Tomei and Frank Whaley. And I did bring my lion with me that I bring wherever I go. You know how hard it is to carry this lion wherever you go? Unbelievable. But nothing is too much for the readers of Comedy Matters. How did you get involved with the new group that they gave you the honor of being a host? Not that, I mean, you certainly deserve it, but I mean, it's fantastic. You and Frank?
Well, I have been in two of their very big productions. One of them, it's an evening honoring Wallace Shawn tonight.
Yes.
So I was in one of his shows, Aunt Dan and Lemon, at the new group, and I was also on their Broadway production of The Women.
I'll tell you what I'm most interested about, and I know you're in a hurry, but I think it's so wonderful. You work with women in self-esteem, right? About self-esteem.
Yeah.
Could you say something about that? I think it's so important.
Yeah,
Self-empowerment and self-esteem is incredible.
Well, I think that there's very little for young women today in terms of self-esteem, and that worries me. I don't have kids myself, but I can't imagine what it must be like to be a young woman and watch The Hills and the Desperate Housewives and all that stuff. You know, not Real Housewives. You know, all those things that we're exposed to. If you really think about it, and I'm not some like feminist, but all the women on most of them are pretty much knuckleheads. So I get a little upset about that, and I actually am writing a book right now that's coming out next year called Guts, and a lot of it's about self-esteem for young women and stuff like that.
Why I asked about self-esteem?
Yeah.
Because I was
a young woman.
I used to be a young woman. I was a young black woman, as a matter of fact, and I realized it was so hard for me in society.
I thought your Adam's apple gave it away. Yeah.
Yes.
So what were you going to tell me?
I was a very severe stutterer until I was in my 20s. Well, it's about self-esteem and self-empowerment.
Yeah.
And I work with stutterers, and I teach them how not to stutter. And it's about, and I think acting does that as well.
Yeah.
As an actor, you have to learn to lose your self-consciousness, and it helps you build self-esteem and feel empowered to go out on.
Well, it can. You see, most acting teachers are terrible, honestly. Some of them are brilliant, okay? But most are failed actors, or, you know, there's a bitterness or something. The ones that I had were not so good long ago, okay? So, and they would say things like,
those who can do and those who can't teach.
Well, but yes, exactly. But they would say, I was told twice that I would never going to make it, that I should not do it. I mean, you know, how dare you? So that's why I try to be the teacher I never had, which it's like, it's not my business to tell you what's going to happen, because I don't know. But it is my business to try to help you become the best you can be. And then God will take it from there, or whoever, you know. Whether you make it or not is a conversation with Jesus. I don't know. I'm out of that one.
I'm so glad I got a chance to talk to you tonight. You're absolutely wonderful. You're amazing.
Yes, how are you, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm here with Frank Whaley, who is the host tonight with Kristen Johnston of the new group's tribute to Wallace Shawn. Just saw you the other night in Marie and Bruce. It was fantastic.
Thank you very much. It's a great thrill to do that show, and
Your amazing career, can you think of anything that was like a lucky break for you? Something that you got that you didn't expect to get? Or something that happened that came out of nowhere?
this play I just finished, Marie and Bruce. They asked me to do it. I had worked at the new group last year on another play, and I was lucky enough that, Scott Elliott, the director, thought of me for the show and emailed me and asked me to do it, and it's changed my perspective in so many different ways, and it's helped me grow as an actor and as a performer, and so that's the thing that comes to mind.
And now, you had known Wallace Shawn from before, is that correct? Because he had done some stuff with New Group.
Yeah, I've known Wally for a long time, just from just from different things, and I've always admired him, and I've always loved his writing and his plays and his essays, and he's really quite an extraordinary man. And I always this play, I always wanted to do this play. And so.
Did you see him in Princess Bride?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
1987, and people still remember that film, which is amazing. Do you have any idea why that sticks out in people's minds?
I think it's a great movie. That's probably it.
Yeah, but there have been so many, and for some reason, when you think of Wallace Shawn, and he's done so much stuff, to me, Princess Bride just comes to mind right away.
I think, Wally's sort of underground, and that was probably the most visible, film role, and, people quote it and stuff like that. So I think that, but me, I know him from his plays. That's what I admire him the most. I mean, it's kind of ironic that they remember him, that kind of silly movie. Yeah, but he's done so much great work over the years. He's a philosopher. He's a incredibly gifted and talented man. And yeah.
Was it the first time you worked with Marisa?
We've done little things here and there, but this first time we did a full production. Yeah.
You guys were like made to be together. Has the play changed much since 1978? Because I think that's when it was originally written. Did they modify it at all?
Slightly, yeah. There was a few changes, but not many. Yeah, it's probably pretty much intact.
Well, look, it was great to see you, Frank. I wish you all the best. Thanks, man.
Good to talk to you, man.
Good to see you. Bye-bye. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good, I'm great. Good to see you.
Hi.
Good. Can I just congratulate you on your role? I just saw you the other night in Marie and Bruce, and you were fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Had you done any of Wallace's plays before?
No.
He wrote it originally in 1978, I think, right? Did he do any updates to modernize it, or do you, as far as you know, is it the original?
No, he did change some of the party stuff around, some of the midsection.
Just last thing, have you worked with Frank before, Frank Whaley?
I haven't, but it's been a great pleasure. Yeah.
I wish you the best of luck. It was good to see you as always.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Bye. Congratulations on your honor tonight.
Thank you. I'm basically speechless. There's no explanation for why I'm being honored, but I'm accepting it nonetheless.
Well, if you're speechless, I won't ask you to make a speech then.
Thank you.
But,
so I have about 3,000 words when they put me up there.
I understand that you've been a supporter of the new group for quite a while.
Yes, an athletic supporter.
So you do comedy as well then?
Periodically, yes.
I understand that you're involved in the world of psychology.
I am, yes. I've been a patient for 25 years.
I'm a comedy writer. I should be writing for you now. You're a good performer. And I noticed that you're very involved in the mental health field because I read about you.
Really?
Yes. I took the time to read about you.
I'm sorry. There used to be a publication called Common Boundary that explored the boundary between spirituality and psychology.
I thought you were saying that because I just crossed the boundary.
No, you may have done that, but I wasn't listening, so no.
It's good to see a man of psychology with a sense of humor. It doesn't come along that often.
It's just the medication.
I think if more people used humor in their psychotherapy, that people would also get better faster.
I agree.
Because it's a way of not taking life so seriously. Can you agree to that?
Whatever you say, I agree with. Yes.
And you haven't changed a bit. In all the years I know you, we've always been on the same page. It's fantastic to see you again.
Thank you.
And I wish you the best of luck tonight.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
How are you, man?
Hi, brother.
Good to see you.
Good to see you again.
Hey, so I'm here with Bobby Cannavale.
Classier digs this time.
Well, the motherfucker with the hat, man.
Yeah,
You're here
man.
with the hat and everything.
Last time we spoke was in Chris's dressing room. Which is kind of nice, but not like this.
Yeah, at least we didn't have to walk up 6 flights to get here.
That's true. That's true.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I love it. That's my favorite part is watching all the old people walk up the 6 flights of stairs. Asking me where Chris's room is and going 6 flights. And then like running past Joan Rivers as she huffs and puffs up the stairs.
Isn't that amazing? How long have you been involved with the new group?
Well, Wally and I did Hurly Burly together about 6 years ago.
That's right. I remember seeing that. You and Ethan.
And Ethan and Parker Posey. Right? Parker Posey, Hallie Wegman Gross, and Catherine Kellner, yeah.
So, have you done any straight comedy? Have you ever done stand-up, by the way? Because you're funny.
No, but thanks. Chris Rock thought I was a comedian. He called me after he saw the station agent. He got my number. Because famous people can get your number somehow.
I know, I always wondered about that.
When somebody calls you and they're not famous and you don't know who they are, they're like a friend of a friend, you go, how the fuck did you get my number?
Yeah, right.
But when a famous person calls you, you don't even think twice. You're just like,
Chris.
hey,
Yeah, right. It's like you're not gonna say other fuck. Yeah, Chris Rock.
So Chris got my number, and he thought I was a stand-up, but I'm not. I could never do that. That's hard.
So he called you to be in the motherfucker with the hat?
No. He called me back when Station Agent came out to tell me how much he loved the movie, because he told me that when he became really famous, he decided he was going to use his fame to call people whose work he liked to just tell them he liked it. So he called me and to tell me he liked me in the movie a lot and asked me where I came from in my comedy. And I was like, oh, I'm not a comedian. He thought I was a comedian.
That's a great Chris Rock story. You know, I'm doing the book on the 35th anniversary of the comic strip where Chris was discovered by Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Chris is one of the most humble guys that I've ever met.
Yeah,
For a star of his magnitude, the dude is humble, man. He just comes from a good place.
Yeah.
And he appreciates other people's work. Obviously, if he called you years ago, what year was the Station Agent?
Yeah, I guess it's about like 6 years now. Yeah. Oh, he's a stand-up guy, man. A real gent and just a real person. A real good guy.
So it's been fun doing this show?
Yeah, 100%.
When it ends in June, what's next for you? What are you going to do?
I don't know, man. I think we're going to go, I don't know. Hopefully we'll go a little further with the play, but I don't know yet. I'm job to job, man.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because I got a script for you.
All right, great. It's got a shorter title than the last one, right?
Definitely. Absolutely. And a cleaner title, too. It was great to see you, Bobby.
Thanks,
all the best. Great. Good to see you, bro.
All right, good to see you.
Awesome. So, how are you involved with the new group?
I've done 2 plays here now. Done the Mike Lee play. I'm not sure why you want to do that to me. I've done the Mike Lee play here 2,000 Years, and then I also recently did Tommy Nahili's Blood from a Stone. And it was the first time I ever did a play in New York, even though I've been around the block quite a bit in the pictures.
Yeah. Well, I know you did a moving picture. Do they still use that? A moving picture with sound.
What they call them now. Talkies is, I believe, the term. So I've been doing those for years.
Well, listen, you're very funny.
For you to talk to.
You should do stand-up comedy. Have you ever thought of doing stand-up?
I think about a lot of things.
Yeah. You know? Stand-up is, I write comedy and I do stand-up, and it's like one of the hardest things in the world. But I was going to offer you, if you want to do stand-up, to come to the comic strip, and I'll get you on stage.
Where's the comic strip?
The comic strip is
Coney Island.
No, on 81st and 2nd. It's where Eddie Murphy and Jerry Seinfeld started, and Chris Rock.
Started
at the comic strip.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see how tonight goes. I'm a little bit nervous. I start mumbling under pressure. You know, I guess there's a lot of great mumblers.
There were some famous mumblers.
Mitch Hedberg. My friend PJ suggested that I just get up there and do like Andy Kaufman and read. Did he read The Great Gatsby? Is that possible?
Sometimes, and then he would invite everybody for milk and cookies to come home with him. You have a big place?
Nah, just a studio apartment with one chair.
I want to thank you for coming on with us.
Thank you.
It's great to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Good job.
Thank you so much.
See you later.
I'm here with Wallace Shawn, the honoree of the new group tonight. It's a tribute, actually, to Wallace Shawn. I just saw your play. I want to say your new play, but it's really your old play also, as well, isn't it?
Yes, it's quite old. Maybe not older than you. I'm not sure, but it
no one is sure about that.
It dips way back into earlier decades, the 70s.
78, right? Was it 78 when you first wrote it?
Yes. No, 78. 78. Yeah.
Did you have to change it much to update it, to modernize it? Or was it really the same as you wrote it then?
No, I didn't modernize it. And we didn't pretend it was the present either. We sort of set it in a vague 1980-ish past.
I could kind of tell by the hairdos. The one guy had his hair like kind of straight down, which like some people wear it today like Justin Bieber does, but it had a feel of 1980s.
Yeah, well, I mean, the play doesn't mention any time or place, but it sort of seemed like New York in 1980 or somebody's dream of that.
How long have you been involved with the new group?
I think since around 2002.
But you did about 4 plays with them, right? Including Hurly Burly?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I acted in that one.
In Hurly Burly. I remember seeing that. Bobby Cannavale, I think, was in that, right? Ethan Hawke?
Yes, and Josh Hamilton.
That's right, Josh Hamilton, sure. Have you seen...
Parker Posey.
You know what I want to ask you? Maybe a lot of people ask you this, but what do you think was the magic of The Princess Bride that people remember it all these years? I think that movie was also maybe 1987. It was a long time ago, but for some reason... it sticks in people's minds. Do you have any idea why that was so popular or still? I mean, there's been so many movies since, but when I think of you, that was such an endearing movie.
Well, I never really speculate on why people like things because I suppose if I knew that,
You'd win the lottery.
I'd be rich or I would be a successful person. I don't know. I mean, with my play, Marie and Bruce, in 1980, everybody agreed it was trash, worthless junk, and people didn't like it.
Is that true or you're kidding? Really? In
No.
1980 they didn't like it?
No, they didn't like it. I would say 10% of the audience liked it, 90% disliked it. Now, a lot of people liked it.
You see what 30, 40 years does to a piece of work?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But I mean, I can't explain why people like things. I just don't know.
I know, in comedy it's the same. As a writer, and as a performer, some nights you go up on stage and the audience is hysterical. Next night, the same jokes, they're humming. They don't.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. The same really with a play, particularly if it's a small audience, can vary so dramatically from night to night. So I can't speculate.
What made you decide to resurrect it then? If it didn't go well in 1980, what gave you the thought to do that again?
Well, I always thought it was good.
Oh, okay.
I didn't doubt it.
It's good to have confidence in your work.
Yeah, I mean, I thought those people were wrong.
And you proved them wrong because this play's a big hit. I loved it. Did I tell you that I really liked it? I saw it about 2 nights ago.
Oh,
and it was great to see Marisa and Frank together. It was wonderful.
Yeah, well, it's a brilliant production. Fabulous.
Really fantastic. Well, I wish you the best of luck. It was wonderful to see you tonight.
This is Bobby Cannavale. You're watching Comedy Matters, boy.
You're Frank Whaley, and I'm watching Comedy Matters.
Hi, this is Natasha Lyonne, and you're watching Comedy Matters.